Hello, everyone. Oops, let me know if you are hearing me. My mic is working. I think it is, though. Boop, boop. Hi, everyone in the chat. Love seeing you guys here. Okay, just fixing myself before we get started here, right? Okay. Oh, okay. Hi there, Selena. Hi, Brayden. Hi, Geraldine. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Sandra. It was nice to see you here first. And Joanna. Nice to see you guys here. I'm so happy. So happy to have you all here. So I didn't get any new fortune cookies yet, but I'm plan on getting some this weekend. So we only actually have one cookie left because I really needed a message this week. So I opened one, and I opened one of the two that we had left. And I'll tell you what I got for it too, because I thought it was pretty telling considering what I'm getting ready to talk about. It said, make as much as you can, save as much as you can, give as much as you can. So, shall I get started, I guess? I was kind of waiting for a couple more people to roll in. But I guess we don't really need to wait. I was waiting for one of the moderators to come in. That's all right. So, all right, guys. So if any of you follow me on Facebook, you'll kind of already know what I'm getting ready to talk about. And what I'm talking about is my car. My beautiful car named Ruby. Hi there, Hopes. Nice to see ya. My beautiful car, my minivan that I purchased. It was one of the only things that I've ever bought for myself, flat out in cash. I saved up money in order to have a car because for many years I didn't have a car, and I had saved up money and I bought this car about 6 years ago, I would say, and I was so happy with it. I really loved that car. I really talked to that car, bonded with that car. Like I said, I named her Ruby Roundhouse because she was red and because I relate to the character of Ruby Roundhouse. And so last weekend, on Friday, after the stream, I went to go get some birthday presents for my son Henry, who was turning 12 on Sunday. Turned 12 on Sunday. I went with my older son and my youngest daughter. We went to GameStop, and the GameStop was closed. And so we drove to a second GameStop. And we parked. We went inside. My car, there was no issues. There was no smoke. There was no lights coming on. My car was completely acting like everything was fine. And in less than 5 minutes of us being in the store, because we bought the game and then we were just browsing a little bit. And someone said, "Oh my God, someone's car is on fire out there." And, I'm like, "Oh, wow. Like, oh, that's shitty. Whose car is it?" They're like, "That red car." "Oh, that's my car." "Oh, that's my car that's on fire." And it wasn't just like a small fire. It wasn't like it was just smoking a little bit. It was like fully engulfed in flames in the entire front end. It was so much on fire that we were all pretty much scared to stand at the front of the store. And yeah, we all tried to go out the back and like go around to be like a distance from it or whatever. They tried to use 2 fire extinguishers on it, and they didn't come out. It wouldn't go out. We had to call the fire department. And so I lost my one and only vehicle that I had to do my door dashing in, which is like what I do as a side job besides my tarot readings. And I've been really door dashing a lot recently, because I needed to start saving so that way I could eventually find my own place out of here, because obviously who would want to live in a situation where they're being abused by someone narcissistically, and it's not gotten any better. It's only gotten worse. We're like completely in the discard phase now. So like the cruelty and the heartlessness of the actions that he is taking have just increased so hard. So definitely put some prayers out there for me in regards to this. I'm not, the thing that I just keep trying to tell myself, the intentions I just keep trying to have Okay. It's just that I'm not trying to send harm anyone's way. I'm not trying to send negativity back out to anyone. I just want all negativity that is being sent in my direction to completely stop. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous and out of control, because I kind of feel like there was something to this fire happening to my car, because I know that someone recently who does not like me very much did a ritual in my house. So part of me is kind of wondering if that had something to do with it, but I could be totally wrong. You know, it was the beginning of Leo season, and as we know, Venus retrograde started pretty much that same day. It was like, bam, started off with a bang, started off with fire here, and I felt like it was like a sacrifice to Odin, is what I was joking around and saying it was. She went down with a blaze of glory. And the reason that I compared it to this was because in that show, American Gods, that I've talked about in the past, the character of Odin actually has a car that is a reincarnation of a berserker, which was his horse, and he called it Black Betty. And he needed to sacrifice her in order to save his son. And so I kind of felt like, wow, like I didn't realize, like, because okay, here's like the creepiest part about it for me, you guys, is that I had a warning psychically, spiritually. I had a warning about it literally a week beforehand. I was thinking about the fact that, as much as I love my car, I've been occasionally borrowing my mom's to DoorDash because we were just a little bit worried about it. Like, it'd been having battery issues, and we wanted me to have a stable, safe car for me to go out door dashing in. So I was driving my son to work, and I was thinking, wow, I really do hope that I can work to upgrade my car here soon. And I was telling myself, I was like, but I don't know if I could ever get rid of her, So I was telling my son Isaac, that we should get him his driver's license, and then maybe I could give him this car, and then I could find a new one, save up to buy a new one. And Spirit told me right then and there, I could feel it. They said, she won't be around much longer. She won't be here much longer. And I ignored it, and I just said, no. Like, no. I said, she's going to be here for a long time. And I remember I rubbed the dash, and I was like, I love you, like, you're going to be here for a while. It's fine. Next week. And I've talked to a couple people about it who know about cars, and they pretty much all said the same type of thing, which was that they think it's an electrical fire that started it. So, yeah, and I had pulled those tarot cards last week too. They made complete sense to me. The Adventure Time ones, the Adventure Time spread made complete sense to me based on what happened that day, because we had gotten the King of Wands, which was the Grand Wizard, and we gotten Death, and then we gotten the Six of Swords. Okay, and I remember the King of Wands, wasn't sure what his powers were, the wizard, what his powers were, but I went and I looked it up, and it turns out that his powers were, first of all, they involve bubble making, but he also could use electricity to start fires. So I just thought that was really interesting. And in the death card itself, I actually saw something for the first time in the background of that card. It was like a triangle that had this bright light energy coming off of it, kind of reminded me of like something being born or exploding or something. Like, I didn't think exploding, but thinking back on it now, it absolutely makes sense. It lines up with this exploding, and then needing to have faith, that everything was going to come through and be okay. Because now I'm like, how do I even get out to DoorDash if I don't have a reliable car, right? So I put it on Facebook, and I asked for some donations, and I have to tell you guys, I was so touched by how many people donated to me getting a new car. Like, I'm going to be able to have a new car before I even know it. Like, in the past, it would have taken me months and months to save up this much money in order to put down on a car. And at this point, I have enough, pretty much, if I could find a decent enough used vehicle, I could go and I could probably buy it out. Right. But at this point, I'm borrowing my mom's boyfriend's car, and just going to keep door dashing and saving up money so that way I can get a car that is reliable. Because that's really the thing, is I need a car that's safe, stable, and reliable. So if you are looking to help me out, if you are so touched or moved, or you haven't donated already, please, you can find me on Venmo, Cash App, and what is the other one? PayPal, as Cassandra Fileski. And if you want to get a hold of me by email to ask to make sure, you can email me as usual at auroradiamondheart@gmail.com. You know, so many weird synchronicities happened over the past week, especially over the weekend. Like synchronous things, magical things that were just like thrown right in my face. Now, first of all, I mentioned last week that I had a dream about finding a woodpecker feather, right? And then I saw that same type of woodpecker on the ground that day, and I thought it was like a sign for me to use this particular statue that I had put in the background. But the very next day, when I was sitting outside with my mom here, she saw something fall from the sky, and it looked like a yellow leaf to her. So she went and she picked up this leaf, and it wasn't a leaf, it was a feather. And it was a bright yellow feather with a black tip. And I thought, oh, that's very interesting that we just found a feather like this after I had that dream. I'm like, but it doesn't look like the feather from my dream, but I do know the type of bird that the feather was from in my dream. So later on, I looked it up. I tried to find what type of bird feather this was that she had found. And actually, it was the tail feather of the woodpecker bird that I had seen, the feather of my dream. So, you know, the northern flicker seems to be a totem that has come into my life at this moment that is just really making its presence known. And I highly recommend that when you come across feathers and stuff like that, that you, first of all, you pay attention to the thoughts that you be thinking. Okay. And then you can just go and you can describe the feather in Google or whatever, and you should be able to bring up pictures of different feathers that will help you figure out which bird it is. And that's the bird that's what you're going to look up for the symbolism. Okay. What does that bird symbolize? So yeah, I had, so many, like I said, so many crazy synchronicities that were just like rolling in from this moment. And so I'm just really trying to feel stable and safe and calm and to have faith in the universe and trust in the universe, because like I said, we got that Six of Swords that rolled in last week, and it's really telling me to trust, you know, have faith, like you're on the right path. Everything's going to work itself out. And I do really think that, because I'm doing everything that I can. You know, I'm doing everything that I can to remedy the situation that I found myself in. And there's no one in the world that could take a look at what I do and what I've been doing in my life and say that I'm not. There's literally no one. So that could say that I'm not doing these things, you know. So sad, very sad. Definitely been struggling. Definitely been feeling hit. It was just like I said, it was like one thing after another, you know. It was like the car thing happened, and then I got like a paper basically from the courts trying to tell me that I have to leave my home by August 18th or I have a court date, which I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have a court date because I literally have nowhere else to go. I have to find a way. I have to still find a way. And no, oh my God, it's just so frustrating because it's like, if I had no idea that this is the nightmare the nightmare cage prison that I was going to end up in with this person. And there's like no escape other than living in a box on the side of the road, you know, and that I can't do that. I can't do that to a bunch of kids. You know, if it was just me, I'd fucking live in my car. I'd live in my mom's boyfriend's car until I could buy my own car if it was just me, but it's not. And this person knew that. This person knew all of the circumstances. And so, and then the next thing that happened was my son, you know, he needed to have a bunch of dental work done. I mentioned that, you know, and he did end up getting it done, but it wasn't without some real hardships and having to struggle back and forth with money wise. It just seems like money is the main thing hitting me in every way, like not having it and needing it, not having it and needing it. Like they basically tried to ask us for $4,000 at the last minute. We already done one of the dental appointments. We had 3 appointments set up. And then they asked me for $4,000 the day before his appointment. And we tried to tell him, like, my son is on the autism spectrum. He's autistic. we can't afford that. That's why we need him to be put under general anesthesia. And that's what they were trying to charge us for. They were saying the work was covered, but that we needed to pay $4,000 for the anesthesia for the 2 appointments. But luckily, I just stayed calm. I'm like, something's going to work itself out. And that day, the dentist office called us back and they said if you have any paperwork proving that he's autistic, that they will charge it. They will do it for free and they will appeal the insurance company. And so, sure enough, of course we did. We have like stacks of paperwork from the past when, he used to attend school and stuff, and they used to have to do IEPs and all this stuff for him. He actually had a parapro at one point because of it, which is like a teacher's aide helper person that is assigned to your child to help them all the time, which was a terrible idea for him because he's not the type that likes someone to do that. And that's honestly why I ended up homeschooling him. And he's done great. He's done amazing at homeschooling. So I'm happy about all that, about that working out. So again, I really think that in the long run, I know that what I'm doing is the best that I can do. And so therefore, like, I'm going to try and just take pleasure in the little things and just being alive and just the moments where I have my children here with me and we're happy and we're safe, and, I took them to the water park yesterday. It was a lot of fun. And that's really just what I've been struggling with and trying to get through here, guys. And I don't know who else has been being hit by this stuff, but, I guess this is part of what happens when the Venus retrograde gets close to your second house. That was like, and seriously, I posted about my car and someone in the comments said, is the Venus retrograde hitting your second or your third house? And I went back and I looked at my chart real quick because I actually go by whole sign houses. But other people use a different method of astrology, most Westerners, and it divides the houses up a little differently. So technically, according to that type of astrology, my Venus retrograde was in my second house, which has to do with money and your resources and things that you need to live, right? Oh, guys, please, prayers. Okay, I'm needing some assistance here. I'm needing some protection. I'm needing some backup, Okay, so that is that's all I'm gonna say about that stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and put that aside now, and then I'm gonna talk briefly here for a minute about my time as a midwife. Hi there, Trevor. Hi there, Michael. Nice to see you. And so I'm going to talk briefly for a second about what it was like. Being a midwife has just been on my mind, probably because all the storms that we've been having here lately. And we did have a really crazy storm rip through here just like 2 days ago. It like literally uprooted all of these trees all around, knocked out some power for a bunch of people. It made door dashing crazy busy though, I'll tell you that. I was like, wow, this is, but I just ended up going through these neighborhoods where all these people's powers were out. My heart was just like, oh God, please, God, turn the power back on for these people. Like, please, God, I can't even imagine in the hot. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to lose your power, because I used to, my old house that I lived in, okay, we had power go out like a couple times a month. Okay, so it's like, man, like praying for those people, praying for the people with the outages and the blackouts. So yeah, I was thinking about when I used to be a midwife, and I was thinking about this really beautiful dream that I had right when I started my midwifery career. And it was a dream that I had where I was in my house and I was at the front door, and I had a glass front door. Okay. And I was at, like, they had the door and then they have the screen door. It was like the screen door. There was a glass there. And outside of my house, there was a storm, and it was in the distance. It was brewing, and there was a lightning bolt that was coming down to the ground, but it wasn't hitting the ground. Okay. And more lightning bolts started, like they were gathering on top of each other. All these lightning bolts were gathering on top of each other. And I started to get a little scared, and I started to turn around. And when I turned around, the Buddha was there with me, and he turned me back around and he said, no, just look. And I said, okay. And I looked and I watched as all of these lightning bolts filled the sky, like on top of each other. And then boom, it hit, and I woke up. They struck the earth and I hit. Okay. Well, after that dream, when I started, I was on call to go and attend these women because, like I said, I was a home birth midwife. Okay, and I always knew the day that we were going to be delivering a baby for someone because every single time I would see a lightning bolt. I would see a lightning bolt, and I would see the lightning bolt in the direction of where the client was, where the woman who was going to give birth was. Okay. I'm not joking. Every time. One time, actually, on because sometimes people go into labor at the same time, right? One day, particularly, I saw 3 lightning bolts. I saw one strike over this one area, and then I saw 2 strike over in this other area. And that day, we ended up helping deliver one woman and then another woman who had twins. And so there's just something so sacred and so magical about being a guardian for the gateway of life and death. It was such an honor, and it was like a natural gift for me. Like, I remember it was the first time that I ever was able to open up books on the subject of midwifery, and I loved reading them. I didn't even like, some books you pick up and you read and you're like, I'm reading it because I have to, or reading it because I want to know this stuff, and it's like, oh, boring to read. Like, that wasn't the case for me with midwifery. It was like it came second nature to me. And that was why my midwife, who I'd actually used for 2 of my sons' births, okay, water births, that was why she actually called me back from Florida. I was in school for it. I got accepted in the second best nation in the school. I had to go through a lengthy acceptance process. And I moved down to Florida to start my midwifery training. And halfway through it, my midwife was like, I was missing my children. I was missing my family because I was trying to do this, go to school and then come home and visit them, and then maybe take one with me, and then they'd stay, and then we go back home. And it was very hard on me. It was harder than I thought it was going to be. And so my midwife at the time, actually, she offered me up a position. She was like, why are you doing that? She's like, I told you before. She had pulled me aside before, and she told me, she said, of all of these women that hang out with me that want to be a midwife, you're the only one that I can see doing that. She told me that. And that was part of what inspired me to keep going, because the way you get into the midwifery community is, at the time, they had these meetings called birth network meetings that are in the lower state of Michigan. And so people who are interested in talking about births, they would go and they would gather at this library every Tuesday or Thursday or whatever it was. And it was about an hour away from me, but I was going to those because I was so interested in the subject. And so that was how I got into the community, because it is a small community when you're a home birth midwife. Pretty much all the home birth midwives know each other. And so for several years, I got to watch for those lightning bolts, and I got to attend 88 births total. 88. I thought that was kind of funny that it ended on 88. And that's obviously not including my own births that I caught myself. I had a midwife there, but I mainly did the catching because I was a midwife. So I was like, I got this. I was like, don't worry about it. So yeah, I do hope to get into some more of the crazier stories that I do have in the future. I think I'll talk about some of them eventually. Like, that's just another thing I'm putting on the burner of. I mean, I've had this YouTube channel now for a year. August 1st, it will have been a year since I've started doing live streams. I can't believe that it's been a year. Like, I'm proud of myself, honestly, for sticking to this and to keep coming back out here and practicing and getting better. Working my ass off here to try and make something of myself. So I'm happy to share these things with you guys. I'm happy to share my life with you guys. I'm thankful that you all are here, and I'm thankful for the people who show up and continue to show up, because it gives my life meaning. It gives me strength and happiness and hope and encouragement to come back here and keep doing this, even when there are streams that I don't feel the best about, or I feel stupid or whatever. For you start having these things replay in your head afterward, where it's like, oh God, why did I say that like this? Or, oh man, this happened. There was this pause. Oh gosh, it's like I'm able to just put those aside and just be like, well, at least I'm out here doing it. So many people want to be doing these types of things, or start even, and then just quit. And that was one of the things that really hit me this one time when I'd found this woman's work. She'd done a couple videos on a subject that I really liked. And then it was on Facebook. I found her Facebook videos. And then I went to her YouTube channel, and she had posted a couple of things, but then she had stopped. And I was actually really bummed that she stopped. And it got me to thinking, like, gosh, why do people stop? Why do people start and don't keep going? And I know what it is. It's because it's hard. It really forces you to look at, that self-critic. If you don't have a good control over that self-critic, then it will just eat you up alive. And it certainly has tried. There's certainly been things that have been trying to get me and to tear me down here, I'd have to say. But I'm not going to let them. I'm not going to let it, because I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be sharing myself with you guys. This is me. That's really all I got, is just to come out here and to be the most myself that I can. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to talking about some birth stories in the future, besides my dance videos, which are still coming. I know I've been saying that for a year too. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to get the things that I really want to do done, but I do it. I do eventually get it done, and it just might take some time. So, and eventually too, I'm going to be starting to talk about the Fae. I've been trying to meditate and channel in about more Fae energy, because the thing that I got curious about is not only just about the Fae, but about the types of Fae, like light Fae and dark Fae. Because there is dark fairies out there too. And so I'm getting some things in about it, and I'm really excited to be sharing it with you guys in the future. I'm just trying to get enough to make a stream out of it. And maybe, like I said in the past stream, maybe even a course or something, a little class, a little get together to talk about fairies and fairy energy and what I know about it, about being one, because for one, nature is the biggest part of it, and communicating with nature and the creatures and the insects and the birds and the plants, like it's just such a beautiful thing. They really do talk to you when you ask the fairies to assist you in communicating with nature. It will happen. Like I'll give you just like a little example, because the weirdest things have been happening here for me. The other day I was sitting on my chair out in back, and there was a little spider friend that I had next to me, and I was just feeling really good that day, and I was just talking to him. And I don't often verbally say these things out loud. I usually just say it in my heart and in my head, but I was just feeling really good that day, and so I was just talking to this little spider. It was a little orange spider, and I was like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh, wow. I love you so much. Like, you are so amazing." And I went with my finger and I petted his little leg. And then I went back to doing whatever it was I was doing on my phone. And then a couple seconds later, or probably a minute or two later, because he was on his way off to the other direction, a couple minutes later, I start to feel something tickling at my wrist right here. And I threw my phone down, like, oh, like, what was that? And it was the spider. And this happens a lot of times if you give your love like this to a creature. When you interact with it like this, they will have the most amazing, most beautiful responses. And it's so incredible when you're going through it in the moment. And I told him, after I kind of threw him off of me, I was just, I'm so sorry, and you could see the spider was looking like right at me, I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to, hurt you or anything. I hope I didn't hurt you or scare you, and I pet his little leg again, and he relaxed, and he put his legs out again, and we went on our way, and another thing happened with this bunny rabbit. I was talking the same day. I was sitting back here, and we have these bunny rabbits that just love my backyard, and they love to eat the weeds that we have back there and the birdseed that I put out. And so I was talking to my friend, and I was telling her, oh my God, this bunny rabbit is literally, you could see the happiness energy of this bunny jumping around from weed to weed, just taking a bite of one and then biting another one, and and he was like so happy. And I was like, oh my God, this is the most adorable thing. And I was saying to the bunny, I was like, oh my God, you are so cute. I was like, you go ahead and you eat whatever you want back here. I love you. You're great. And after I said that, this bunny rabbit came right up to me. Okay, like it stayed about 5 feet from me, but it came right to my direction, got right even with me, like this, eye to eye, put his feet down, and did this little shake with his butt, and it literally sent energy at me. It was like, look at me. And I'm like, and I was like kind of freaking out. I'm telling my friend on the phone, I'm like, oh my God, this bunny just shook and danced for me. And now it's just sitting here looking at me. And I don't know what, it just felt some energy come off of it. I'm like, this is so crazy, girl. I'm like, what is going on? And it literally just sat there. It just planted itself real firm in the ground. And it just looked at me for several minutes. It just looked at me. It almost looked like it was meditating. And part of me thought maybe this is a suggestion from the spirit that I need to do more meditating. And I did. I did start to do more meditating, and it has been helping. I got some of my subliminals from Dr. Virtual 7. I made another little list of things to help me. And I think it's already been working, quite honestly. And you know, part of the problem is when you go through such a traumatic experience of like having your car explode and then having your home life threatened, you know, like you basically just live in this sea of hormones of stress, right? You can just feel that fight or flight kicking every time you think about it. And so I'm like, literally, I'm like, God damn it. Like, this stress is a killer. And this is what they're talking about. They're talking about these stress hormones. And I've literally been going through hell for over a year now. And how much more can my body take? I'm thinking, you know, how much more? Like, I've lost weight, and I was already thin before, you know? And so I'm just thinking to myself, like, God, it makes it hard to meditate when you're in those types of that state of being. But without meditating, okay, then how do you regulate your body system back down to stable and comfortable and safe? How do you do that, you know? So I forced myself to sit there and meditate, and I came out of it like I meditated for an hour just right off the bat, just jumped right into it. And there was such a difference in my physical body and how it felt after meditating that I was like, oh God, yes, this is what I needed to do. This is what I needed to do. You know, like, so I highly suggest that to anyone who out there who's struggling with trauma or traumatic things going on in their life. You know, meditating goes a long way. And I prefer to use, like I said, I prefer to use these subliminals when I meditate, because I know that the things that we're hearing can have a creative effect, a manifesting effect outward. I've seen it happen too many times. I've used songs to manifest things over and over and over again. You know, so definitely highly suggest it. The guy's name is Dr. Virtual 7. He's on YouTube. And I really can tell this guy's work is like legit. Okay, it works. So just gonna throw that out there. I think that might be all as far as what I wanted to talk about. Trying to remember real quick if there's anything else. If it comes to me, I will I'll speak it. But until then, we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull our last fortune cookie. We're gonna pull our last fortune cookie, and then we're going to go ahead and start the readings. Okay. All right, guys. What does the collective message need to hear? What does the collective need to hear? Give us a message for the collective through this fortune cookie. All the people that are joining me here. See, and I don't get so many people here that it's like, I truly trust and believe that the people who are meant to hear and see my work and the messages that I have to give for them, I trust and believe that if you are here, okay, these messages are for you. You didn't just find yourself here by accident or by mistake. You know, you found yourself here because you were in resonance with the type of person I am, the type of work that I do. Okay. Same energy level. Like, we're part of the same soul group, basically. Okay. We're soul family. So if you're here, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Okay. And, I guess before I open this, I'll just say real quick to any of y'all who haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. Please send this channel and ask someone else to subscribe if you know someone who might be interested and in hearing at least weekly tarot pulls and whatever. Please like, share, and subscribe. That's all I'm going to say. about that one. So let's go ahead and open this now. Let's see what we got. Hope it's a good one, guys. Woo. A pleasant surprise is in store for you. Oh, wow. I like that one. Considering how right they've been on when it comes to these things, a pleasant surprise is in store for you. Oh, I love it. Okay. Love it. All right. So, shall we get started with the tarot readings? I'm ready. Love you guys. Yeah, I'm really excited to get more into the Fae. You know, I feel like, you know, I want to understand why they say that. They told me basically it's the dark Fae that are responsible for the whole you know, have you ever heard about how Fae will switch children out, infants out for their own? They'll take a human infant and they'll switch it out for a Fae child. Okay, and I guess in Ireland, or yeah, they can. There's been times. In fact, the Outlander actually showed. If you guys know the show, The Outlander, they actually kind of showed an example of this where a couple left their infant in the woods because they said that it had been switched out with a Fae child or whatever, like a Fae child instead, and it wasn't theirs, and so they left it there. So it was like, you know, there are some crazy things that people associate with the Fae, and so I'm really interested in figuring out like which parts are true, which parts are not. Okay, what's that really about? Because obviously light Fae work is going to have to do with the elements. It's going to have to do with the animals. It's going to have to do with working with nature in order to, you know, because I feel like that's what fairies are. They're basically guardians and custodians of the earth, of nature, all the growth, all the life. They're the custodians of it. They also are tricksters, though. They do love to play tricks. And if you ever have something that goes, if you call in Fae energy to start guiding you, I have to tell you, warn you ahead of time. If you start having things go missing in your house, random little things, okay, just verbally say to the house fairies, return my item. I'm telling you, for me, 9 times out of 10, it gets found within a couple minutes of me saying that. And it will be in some place that it's like, come on now. I know I looked there. You know, like stuff like that. So they are very playful. They love sweet things. If you leave like honey or milk, honey and milk even, baked bakery goods, like desserts and stuff like that, if you leave those out, if you get, especially if you get a fairy door, which a fairy door is something that you can buy on Amazon basically, and you put it on a tree, all right, and it stands as the portal or the doorway to tell, especially with your intentions, when you put it up with your intentions of you want to invite the fairy folk into your life, all right, well then if you also put out these treats for them, all right, they will bless your life, they will protect you, they will play with you. Oh there, Paul, nice to see you. Honey sticks, yeah, they would absolutely love some honey sticks. So yes, that is how you can give blessings to the Fae. Yes. Okay. Clearing the energy. Let's get ready for this next week's energy cards pull. Next week's energies. All right. In the name of the one and only creator of the light, I ask that you please assist me for this reading. I ask that you please make this reading clear and concise, and let it be made known what it is that we need to be made aware of for this next week's energies. Please assist. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I always cut it 3 times from left to right. It's just a habit I learned when I was 13, and I just have done it ever since. So here we go. Just activating. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Ooh, it came on quick. Lots of energy. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. There we go. Okay. Next week's energies. What does the collective need to hear for next week's energies? Select a card pull. Boop. We got the first card. Oh, man. Okay, so the first card we got is the Emperor. Okay, this is a major arcana card. What is this? This is the daddy figure. This is Saturn energy. Okay, this is a guy who is the disciplinarian. All right, he's the one who wants things to be structured and disciplined and ritualed and like, you know, he wants it done this certain way. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he does it usually works, right? You know, but from looking at him, like I always notice that the ram's horns right here. Okay, so this person could be a little bit hard-headed, bullhead, like they could be, you know, run and charge you. You know, if they get pissed off or they feel like they have something to fight for. All right. The other thing that you could associate with this card is someone who can be comfortable with they have a lot that they can be to give even, but they could be the person, and I only reason this is popping up in my mind right now is because I'm kind of associating with the King of Pentacles a little bit, in that he's the guy who ultimately pays for the party, right? And that I think that's part of the reason why he wants to be so rigid and strict about doing things the way he wants them done. But that is the downside. That is the shadow of the Emperor. The shadow of the Emperor is that he can get too rigid and he can get too strict. Okay, and the thing that I always think of when it comes to rigidness and stiffness is that which does not bend will break. That which is not flexible, when pushed to its limits, it will break. And this is the type of energy of someone who, if they are pushed in a certain way, yeah, they might have to break. They might have to break if they're not willing to bend. Okay, so let's keep going though. That's a pretty heavy energy coming through there. Not necessarily bad, but definitely a strong masculine father type of, I want this thing's done this way, you know, and it's not always a bad thing. Like we do need structure. We do need discipline. We do need those types of things in our life in order to be healthy. You know, human body actually craves routine. All right. Even if it's an unhealthy routine, it will still crave it. It will still want you to do those things in that way. So let's keep going. What else do we need to hear? Tell us more about this Emperor. Tell us more about the Emperor. What else does this objective need to hear? Boop. Okay. We got the Five of Swords. Okay, so the Five of Swords, for me, has always represented another strategy card. This is another card of, needing to be strategic when it comes to the things you say. When it comes to the things that you're going to be sharing. Okay, like it's about cleaning up and salvaging what is left after a battle. So you've come to a crossroads, basically, where now, in order to make peace, like a compromise must be made, and a way must be made clear. Because see, the swords down here, they're crossed. Okay, and this guy, he's just going around, he's picking up the rest of them, right? So he's cleaning up after a battle, and so you really need to be made aware of what is it that needs to be cleaned up as far as verbally, what needs to be cleaned up as far as what you need to communicate between you and another person, perhaps this Emperor energy. What needs to be fixed, because it's time to come to the table and make peace of some sort the best you can, you know. Okay, so let's keep going though. It's not a happy time. I feel like this card is not, but it's a transition. That's the thing about the fives, is that it is a transition time. It is not a period that lasts for forever. You know, like this is something that is going to, it's going to have to transition into something new. All right, let's see what else we got. What else we got? Tell us one more thing. Make the message clearer for the collective for next week's energies. Tell us one more thing. What is it we need to hear? Okay. We got the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so this is going to have to do with home matters, home life. Okay, the closing, the ending of some type of situation concerning things that are material, things that are more stable and solid and secure, because pentacles are earth energy, right? And as you can see, like these people, they're looking at the house, right? So this can be it also can speak to, I don't know why this is popping into my head, but inheritance of some sort. It could symbolize that, because this is actually a pretty abundant card. I mean, the pentacles in itself are have to do with the material goods and stuff like that. It has to do with abundance. Okay, so but if we're going to put all these things together, right? We got the Emperor's energy, we got that Five of Swords. We need to come to the table and clean up the mess that's been left after a battle. Okay, and we need to figure out a way to bring about this closure, this transition, because you know, if the Five of Swords is transition, well, this is an ending. Okay, we're transiting to this ending, which is usually a really positive card. Okay, so how all this is going to go and work out with that Emperor and that Five of Swords and Ten of Pentacles, that only you're going to be able to know that for you. But I hope that gives you at least a little bit of a heads up on the types of energies that are rolling through. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can think of when it comes to the Ten of Pentacles, because like all the tens are closings, all the tens are, but you know, every time you have a closing of one thing, it leads to the rebirth of another. All right, so even if this is an ending to a certain part of your life, you know, and something has to be worked out to get to here, all right, like it will lead you to something, a new thing that is better in the long run. Okay. Yes. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do for those ones. Boop, boop. I hope that helps you guys. Let's do the Adventure Time ones though, because that's the one I really love to see. Oh, you know what? I had a dream that I lost my nose ring last night, and I woke up and I lost my nose ring last night. I thought that was kind of funny that I remembered that, and then it happened. And then I happened to find it, actually, in the middle of my bed. I lost one of my favorite earrings last week, too. And I told the house fairies to return that, and I got it within a couple of hours. I was sweeping up and I found it. Okay, I don't know why. I just keep, they're doing it the most to me right now. I feel like it's trying to cheer me up so they can let me know that things are going to be okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. Time for Adventure Time. Adventure Time. Come on, grab your friends. Most common dream is losing your teeth. Yeah, you know, that is true. My sister actually used to have a lot of dreams like that about losing her teeth. And she hated it all the time. And I think that, well, the teeth represent our root belief system. You know, so when those are falling out, it could be that there's some beliefs that are in upheaval and changing, right? Okay. So let's prepare for the Adventure Time Tarot. And let's see next week's energies. Oh, wow. They also represent decisions, huh? Okay. Teeth also represent decisions, is what Geraldine is saying in the chat. Okay, so now I'm just going to do a couple more shuffles here. Is this the right way? Yeah. Yes, please, guys, tell us what it is that we need to hear for this next week. You know, it takes me a minute with this deck, guys. I love this deck, but it's just really such a heavy deck. Okay. So I think that is about it. You know, I really want to kind of try to shuffle like that. one time. Let's see if they've been getting any looser at all. Oh, I don't think so. Let's try one more time. Oh, no. Barely did it, but it did. That worked a little bit. Eventually, they're going to loosen up. Eventually. Okay. In the name of the one who creator of love and light, I ask that you please assist me through this reading. Please let it be clear and concise. And let us be told what it is that we need to hear. What it is we need to hear for the collective. Collective next week's energies. Collective next week's energies. Boom. All right, here we go. Here we go, guys. Teeth represent the daily grind, Sandra said. Oh, yeah, you're funny. It makes me think of a meme I posted. Okay. Going into the zone. Okay. What is it that we need to hear, God? What is it that we need to hear as a collective? What do we need to hear? 1. All right, we got the Chariot. Okay, we've actually seen this card before. I'm hoping that we start to get some cards that I haven't seen. But yes, we got the Chariot. All right, now the Chariot has to do with being given the keys to the car and the universe saying, hey, guess what? It's time to drive. It's time to go your way. Figure out what direction it is you want to go. All right, and go forward. Be in alignment. Both of the horses that draw this cart have to be in alignment in order to go forward. Otherwise, you basically it's just pulling off in 2 different directions, right? Okay, in this particular card, we got Susan Strong here with Finn and Jake. Now, Susan actually is a human who Finn was actually quite surprised to find because he thought that he was the only human left. Susan is the one that was responsible actually for getting Finn home. She and Finn actually came from another island at one point that was protected and guarded and would not let any of the humans leave because of an apocalypse that had happened on Earth. And so all the other people had turned into like gross zombies and stuff like that. And so everyone had barricaded themselves on this island. And Finn actually ended up escaping with his dad when he was a baby, not in a positive way. It wasn't a plan, but it ended up happening. And so he was off in the land of Oo. He got raised by Jake's mom and dad, the magical dog. He got raised by them. Okay, but then later on, Susan Strong's character, even though he had met her, it wasn't until much later on that you come to find out that she was actually the one that was responsible to retrieve him, that his mom had sent her to come and retrieve him and to take him home to her mom, because her job was that of a seeker. Okay, and as a seeker, it was her job to stop people from leaving the island. But she's also like she had all these upgrades, like electronic upgrades, like she was human, like cyborg type of thing. They had done implants at this place on this island. They were doing these types of things. And so she would go out and she would also kill the monsters with Finn. Okay, so I don't know. I really like the way she's holding these nasty guys right here. Okay, and like you see she's like killed them. All right, and their evil souls are escaping and leaving their body. All right, so they're going to go forward with their hero actions because that's what they do. So you get in alignment so everyone can go forward and to continue to do the work that they came here to do, their entire life's mission and purpose, even if they have forgotten it, even if they have forgotten which way it is they're supposed to go forward. Okay, if you get your intentions lined up, okay, you're basically your inner animal instinct and your higher Christed consciousness, that's what I kind of look at these two as. Get those two in alignment and you will go far. You will go forward. Okay, let's keep going though. What else do we need to hear with this message? What else do we need to hear for the collective message? Oop. Okay. We got another 10 card. Okay, so we got the 10 of Wands. This is another ending type of card. Okay, so the 10 of Wands is basically it's time to take action. It's time to get your things together, and like all what you want to present, okay, all that you are, that you want to go forward with, as far as like the chariot goes, right? Getting into alignment, and you have all the, their actions. Okay, this particular character, okay, it's a card where basically it's going to take you several months to unpack what this ending is. Okay, it's going to take you a while because um, and I'm thinking about the Aquarian Tarot deck when I talk about this, because that's just the traditional meaning that I know of. That it's going to take you a while to fully unpack all the things that you are dealing with. Um, but let's go ahead and look at what the actual character on this card is, and this is the Cosmic Owl. The Cosmic Owl, his job is to make sure he lives in space, basically, in the astral plane. And his job is to go to people's dreams. He gets little missions, and he's supposed to go to people's dreams and just let them see him in their dreams, to let them know that it's a prophetic dream. Okay. So I don't know, and this actually, yeah, and in one of the dreams, he actually ended up, it was one of Finn's dreams, he actually found a woman that he loved. Okay, what was she? She was a peacock. She was like a type of peacock. Okay, and so he was trying to find her in everyone's dreams so that way he could talk to her, and that's why he has all these cocktails in his hand. Okay, because he ended up finding her in a place where they were having, it was like a party type of event. Okay, I'm trying to think of anything else here that has to do with him. He's absolutely, he's friends with all the other cosmic beings. Okay, so he's the one that is supposed to take the actions to give people those signs when something big is coming. All right, so if we get our chariot in alignment and we realize that there's signs that are going to show us like what is coming, all right, and it's some type of ending, some type of transition from an ending to a new beginning, because like I said, all endings lead to new beginnings. And this has to do with taking actions and of who you are, what you are, okay, and preparing to take them to a new place. All right, here we go. One more card for next week's energies. What do we got? One more. What is the message? What does the collective need to hear, guys? Tell us about these other two cards. What's the collective message? Give it to me straight. Sadness. 5 of Cups. Okay, so this is someone who is focusing on what they're losing or what they've lost. Okay, and even though they actually still have these 2 cups behind them, if they would just turn around and take a look at that, but apparently their mental state and their current condition has it so that they're mainly focused on the things that they're losing on and how bad that feels emotionally, the pain, the suffering, which I do think it's kind of funny that this is the character that we got, because this character is actually tied to this character, Susan Strong. Okay, these actually were best friends. Okay, and as it turned out, when Susan, well, this friend of hers wanted to leave the island. She didn't feel like it was right for them to be holding them there in the island, even though her best friend was a seeker and was literally charged with the job to go out and get people from leaving the island. What she wanted to do was, she had made a plan and she had gotten a boat, and she was going to leave, but she wanted to tell her friend before she left because they loved each other so much. And when she did that, Susan, her programming kicked in and they took over her brain for a minute. Dr. Gross did, and she said, okay, Susan, great job. Go ahead and catch that. I forget what they call it. Was it a hider? Catch the hider, okay, and destroy the boat. And so she did. She destroyed the boat, and she was so sad afterward, But in the long run, Susan ended up coming back and saving her, and they ended up leaving the island together. Like, that was one of the whole arcs, was Finn going back to find his mom and going back to that island and like waking all the people up and telling them, like, you don't have to hide in this island anymore. Like, I live outside the island and I've been living all these years and I've been doing all these great things and having all these wonderful experiences, and I have a family over there now, and so he convinced everyone that it was okay, and if they wanted to, that they could leave. And his mom eventually did give them all permission to leave because she was in control of the whole island at that point. Okay, but so this character Kara, she ended up running a toy store, and then Susan actually came back and apologized for what she had done and gave her hope, and then they ended up traveling together. She didn't actually return to, they actually left together. So there's something else coming, is what I'm saying. You know, that transition period, these endings that are happening right now, like, it's a good thing that these things are getting wrapped up. It's a good thing. It was meant to happen. I mean, the cosmic owl literally says that to people in their dreams. Like, whatever it is that you see him, you see the cosmic owl, whatever you're dreaming of, it's going to happen, right? You know, like, there's something coming. There's this Two of Cups coming. But you know, the Two of Cups can be, the card itself can symbolize like going on that look for a relationship, that twin flame union that some people are so I don't want to say that, I can't figure out the right word. They're wanting it. You know what I'm saying? They're desiring it so bad. They want that connection, right? Okay, well, that connection is still coming, I believe. Okay, so I know you've lost something. I know that it doesn't feel good to have lost this thing and that have this ending happen, and now you're having to close up shop, basically. You have to get in alignment in order to move forward. All right, but hold on to hope. Try to look at the positive side. Try to look at what, be hopeful about what the possibilities are in the future. You know, because the one permanent thing about life is its impermanence. Okay, everything. There is nothing that is permanent when it comes to living life. No feelings, no emotions. They're always shape shifting and growing and changing. And if you don't allow them to, that is when the problem happens, really, is when you don't allow these things to shift in their own natural course, in their own natural time. All right. Is there anything else I can think of? Okay, so it looks like a little bit of heavier energy is coming in here for the next week, but it's because we're wrapping some stuff up, guys. We're all just wrapping some stuff up. All right. Oh, hi there, Matthew. Hi there, Miss White Swan. Oh, you got here at the end. Hi there. Oh, wait. I thought Sandra already said hi to you. This is spot on for you? Oh, good. I have a feeling it's spot on for me, too. Here, I'm going to have to think about it on my own afterward. There are some things, you know, but ultimately, I just feel the heaviness with these energies this week. I feel just a heaviness. So ultimately, it's okay in the long run. Just focus on the fact that we're purging these things, you know, we're purging these dark spirits. As we get into alignment, okay, we are purging these things. All right, and it's okay. Take the actions you need to take. Back up. Take those actions. Get all your tools, all your, what is the word for it? Like all the ways you know how to act, all the ways you know how to be, all the things that you have prepared, that you've done repeatedly, you know, like get them all together, okay? Because there's somewhere that you need to go to take them and to use them. All right, and try not to focus too hard on what it is that you're losing, as opposed to the fact that there is still something there right behind you. You just need to turn around and realize that there's still 2 full cups back there. And 2 of Cups is love. 2 of Cups is love. Okay. Hello there, Paternal. Arsenal of Habitudes. I kind of like that. I like that. Yes. Yes. And the fortune cookie message. Yeah, let's remember the fortune cookie message when it comes to this, because like I said, I felt some really heaviness come through when I just pulled those readings, those cards. But the fortune cookie message is a pleasant surprise is in store for you. Okay. So that will be good. All right. Let me see what else some people say here. Oh, I'm glad, Michael. Yeah, I'm glad that resonated with you. So yeah, I'm happy to be here doing this for you guys again. If anyone wants a tarot reading, a personalized one, please reach out to me at Aurora Diamondheart at gmail.com. I still am getting fairly decent amount of readings on top of my door dashing, which I absolutely love. I still love door dashing, I'll tell you. It's just enjoyable to me. As long as I don't sit there and stress out about the amount of orders. Some things to think. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go on a little rant for a second about door dashing. I need to explain to you guys something about DoorDash driving. Okay. When I'm out there driving, all right, and an order comes through, the thing that I'm looking at to decide whether or not I'm going to accept this order or not is how many miles compared to the amount of the tip. If you aren't even tipping over $1 a mile, I'm not taking your order. I've had so many shit orders come through that I'm just, it's insulting and mind-boggling, some of the orders that I see come through the app. And, and it was especially upsetting considering the storm the other night. I was literally out, it was pouring rain. It was like one of the worst storms. Power is going out, and I'm out there door dashing because I need the money to buy a fucking car. And I had people on there seriously trying to give me $2.25 for a 10-mile delivery. Okay, that's not even paying for my gas. There's literally no point in even me doing that. But it got me to thinking too, for my own self. Okay, because I'm not saying that I've always been the best tipper. Okay, what I'm gonna do now from now on is before I order any DoorDash, I'm gonna look up the amount of mileage it is from my house to wherever it is that I'm ordering from, and then I'm going to order. I'm going to tip accordingly to that, because I think honestly, $2 a mile is not too much to ask, especially if I'm going out far, so just so you know, that is how me as a DoorDash driver decides whose orders I'm taking and whose orders I'm not. And I understand that not everyone has a lot of money to tip. I get that. And God help y'all then. God help you. I don't know who takes the orders when it's these low ones. I've had so many crazy low ones come in lately. I was just like, what in the hell? Yeah. And here's the most messed up thing about it. That $2.25, that's what DoorDash gives us. That wasn't even a customer tip. That wasn't even someone tipping. There was. I'm like, I'm out here in the rain, getting soaked, and you don't even want to give me a tip? Like, oh my God, people, please. Thank God there are enough other decent tippers out there, so like I said, I've been making probably about, for anyone who's interested in door dashing, I've been making probably on average anywhere between $17 to $22 an hour, depending on how it's going out there. Okay. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and I'm going to continue doing it. I'm going to, continue coming back here too, and keep you guys updated on all the crazy, cool synchronicities that keep coming my way, on top of all the horrible tragedies that also keep happening. So yeah, again, for any of you who are joining the stream late, right before I'm about to head out, please consider donating, please, to help me afford a car. I've had a lot of donations so far, and thank you, Matthew. I've had a lot of donations so far, and I'm well on my way to having a new car. I'm well on my way, but I'm really going to I really need something that is safe and reliable. So I'm really going to have to make sure I got a decent amount in order to make sure that that's what I'm going to get. Okay. So I have till October to save up enough. I already have, I don't know. Should I tell people how much? I mean, seriously, like I've gotten over $1,800, guys. $1,800 from people, just you guys, my friends, my soul family here, just donating to me. Like seriously makes me want to cry. Like I never thought that so many people would reach into their pockets and help me out. I never, in years past, like I just would have curled into a ball and died. Well, maybe not literally, but yeah, so I feel really positive. I'm really excited about getting that new car. And if you guys want to help me manifest it, then just see me coming to a stream and telling you guys, yay, I have a car and it's so nice. And you can just feel the energy and feel the emotions of, oh my God, you're watching. Oh, she does have a car. She got the car. She got it. Yeah, she got the car. That is the biggest thing when it comes to manifesting, is just doing those daydreams along with the emotions that you'll feel when you are living it, and living it as if it already happened. That is the key to manifesting anything. Right emotions, okay, your intentions, right? Right emotions, daydreams, and telling yourself, daydreaming about it as if it's like a memory. You're going to daydream about it like as if it's already happened, it's already a memory, it's already a done deal. Okay, and the more you start doing this in ways that have an effect and show up for you, the more you're going to build your belief in yourself, and the more of a belief you build in yourself, the bigger the manifestations that you're going to be able to create are. So oh, where do you donate, Paul? I think Miss Liz put my accounts up there in the chat, so if you would like to donate, yes, please. Yes, appreciate that. I really love you guys here. I'm making it. Okay, so I think that is all I have for today. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all for showing up here. Thank you. Like, in Geraldine, seriously, thank you for messaging me and asking me even if I was going live today. Like, it means so much to me. Like, that makes me feel like, oh wow, someone, they do want to see me. They do want to hear me. Like, wow. Like, yeah, I'll go back out there. Okay, I'll go back out there. I'll do this again. We're gonna do it again. Yeah. All right. Sorry, that was me. We're getting really pumped. All right. So, all right, guys. Good night, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend, and wish me good luck in my door dashing. Oh, thank you, Trevor. Oh, blushing now. All right. Bye, guys. I love you all.